Hello, hello, hello everybody. I am in the kitchen today and I am going to make tortilla soup, my version of tortilla soup. And we're also going to make the tortilla strips. And what you need is 2 large chicken breasts, a can of black beans with corn, a whole avocado, a whole lime, minced 3 cloves of minced garlic, some cilantro, onion, chopped jalapeno, chicken broth, diced tomatoes with green chilies, and a large can of crushed tomatoes, salt and pepper, cumin, and chili powder. And that's all it takes for this amazing dish. We're going to start off though, we're going to brown our chicken a little, and then we're going to boil it until it's done. So let's get busy and start it. Take our chicken, put it in. You're going to need a pretty good sized pot for this because it does take a lot of ingredients. Turn this down a little. I'm actually going to put a little salt and pepper on there. Throw a little bit of onion in with it while it's browning. A little bit of jalapeno. And partial of the garlic. You can already smell the seasonings. Smells so good. And the chicken, I love the smell of cooking chicken. Smell the onions and the jalapenos and the garlic. I love that smell. I have my other pan over here. I'm going to turn down the heat on a little bit. And that's the pan that we're going to cook the tortilla strips in. Okay, you want to take your chicken broth and pour it over the chicken. You want to use a whole box. Now, if there's not enough in there to cover your chicken, you can always add a little bit of water to it. So that's what I'm going to do. turn your stove up, and you're going to cook this until your chicken is done. Put a lid on it and let it go. So while this is cooking, we're going to go ahead and start on the tortilla strips. You want your grease good and hot. You don't want them all really on top of each other. You only want to do a little bit at a time. Okay, so we got these going. Let me turn up the heat just a little bit. You want to cook them till they're good and golden brown and crispy. And they're just about there. Matter of fact, this batch, we can go ahead and take it out because it is there. You're going to take and put you some sea salt on it. Or any really. Sprinkle you some salt on it. And then start you another batch. And you might want to use like 6 corn tortillas. And like I said, just cut them up in strips. And just make in batches. Good and crispy. Just like a chip. And that's actually what's going to go on top of the tortilla soup after it is done when you ladle it out. When we have this cold weather that's coming, I thought it was just going to be in the 30s, but come to find out it's going to be in the 20s for a few days. So soup like this, it can go a long way. You know, if you make big batches of it, you can always take and can it and put it on your shelf for days where you just don't have time to cook. You can just open a can of soup. And you know that it's good for you. You know what's in it because you made it. The second batch is turning out pretty good. It's cooking pretty evenly. I can hear it getting crisp already. And we got the chicken going over here for the soup. And it doesn't hurt to cook these ahead of time because you really don't want them hot. You want them to kind of set a little bit so they can set. They look so pretty. And see that? See how pretty they look? Nice and golden brown. You just take and put them in your bowl when you're done. Put your little salt. And then start your next batch. Okay, so we are back. I just pulled the chicken out of the pot, yeah. I couldn't think. So I'm going to let this cool just for a minute before I start tearing it apart, and I'm going to go ahead and add the other ingredients. I'm going to take first and add the black beans and corn. Add all that in. Stir it up. Take and add my onions. My jalapenos. And I'm leaving enough of them out so I can also garnish my dishes with them. Stir that up. I am going to add the rest of my garlic. I'm going to add all of that. Get that stirred up really good. And this recipe, it calls for you to more or less mince your garlic instead of chop it. It wants it really fine. I'm going to add some cilantro. Leave some for garnish. Now I'm going to add my seasonings to it. Now seasonings, I'm going to start off with 1 teaspoon of each seasoning and go from there, because you always want to season to taste. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of chili powder. Stir all of that around. Get that going really good. Now you're going to want to take 1/2 of your lime. Sorry. And squeeze your lime in there, just 1/2 of it, because the other half you're going to use for after it's done. That way, and then let's do it this way. Get all of that good juice out. Okay, take and stir that up really good. Now we are going to add the can of crushed tomatoes. And it's a pretty good sized can. It's the 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. And then we're going to add the can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. Okay, now we're going to let this cook for a little while, and then I am going to get the chicken ready, and we'll put the chicken in, and then it'll be ready to go. So I'll see you in just 2 seconds. Okay, so I got my chicken all tore up, ready to go in. So we're going to place this in. Be safe with it so it don't splash up on you. Give that a good stir. Ain't that beautiful? Beautiful colors. So you're going to let this cook for about another 5 minutes. And before I do that, I'm actually going to test it to see if I need to add any different seasonings or more seasonings to it. So let me get me a spoon. To me, it's going to need a little bit more salt, a little more chili powders, probably just a tad bit more cumin, and just a little more pepper. Let me let him taste.
Salt for sure.
Salt for sure?
Just depends on your taste.
Yeah.
Chili powder.
Yeah, it really does. It depends on your taste, on how you want it. So
More with all.
So I am going to actually add a little bit more of everything to it.
I wouldn't have no more black pepper.
No more black pepper? Okay. Okay. There's my salt.
Scooch of this.
Some more cilantro. My chili powders. And my cumin. Oh, it's not wanting to come out. Okay, we're going to do it this way. There we go. Just a little more. Give that a good stir. Then I'm going to let this cook for about 3 to 5 more minutes, and then we will plate it up, or bowl it up, get it ready, and do our taste test. So I will see everybody in a shake of a lamb's tail. Be back. Okay, so I've got one that I'm plating up now. Make this look all nice and pretty for you.
Whoops.
A little jalapeno. A little more onion. Add around it. A little bit more onion. You can't have enough onion. Then you're going to take and put you a few of these little chips. You take and break some in half and put in here. Make it all nice and pretty. Put you a couple of and there is your tortilla soup. So hopefully you enjoy the recipe, because we are going to do a taste test now. No, you don't want to do a taste test? Okay, I will do the taste test now. Get a little bit of everything. Get me some fat on there. Now let's taste it. The crunch of the tortilla chips with the, oh goodness, with the taste of the tortilla soup, it is just really good. All of the combinations go well together. The little bit of cream cheese really puts off the top. So there's your tortilla soup for some cold days. Even if it's not cold, it's always good. So from my kitchen to your kitchen, give us some thumbs up. Make sure you like, share, ring that bell, subscribe. Stay safe, stay blessed. We love you. Thank you.